The League of 12 City-States.
Calabria in southern Italy, also known as Magna Graecia, was the original so-called Jerusalem, originally called Salem. The Tower of Pisa in the city of Pisa was the original Tower of Babel. After a famine in Lydia, Lord Tyrannus and his people, the Tyrannoi, migrated to northern Italy and set up the League of 12 City-States, and built the Tower of Pisa. The Tyrannoi, called Tersonoi by the Grecians, considered themselves the people of the goddess Circe, from where derived the word for circle or church. The word Tyrannoi later became known as Traino, from where I, myself, get my surname from, as I am a direct descendant of Lord Tyrannus himself. Thus I feel it my duty to reveal this information to the world, since I am the only person to have this knowledge alive to this day. These people, the Tyrannoi, were of Oriental stock, and were in fact Oriental in appearance. They interbred with the Villanovan people already living in Italy at the time of their arrival. Eventually the Rassena, Etruscan, came into being. They were of mixed race, consisting of white and yellow. They also mixed in with the Grecians, who were of the orange race, who themselves had a similar origin, specifically those of the south, who were half yellow, half white, as the Mediterranean race originated in this way. Oriental features can still be seen in various Etruscan art, and in some people of the Mediterranean to this day. Much artwork in the province of Siena features Oriental-looking faces. The idea that the Etruscans were black is ridiculous, and comes out of Afrocentrism, which has no basis in reality, as there is no evidence to this day to support the idea that blacks were ever a sophisticated builder race, as it was the whites and yellows that gave blacks civilization, not the other way around. Any depictions of blacks in ancient Etruria were nothing but a tribe of Sudanese who migrated to Italy and lived alongside the other races inhabiting the country. The city of Merlo in Siena was the original location of Camelot, as Merlo refers to Merlin. The golden plates found in the city of Pergio show that the original Temple of Solomon was built to honor the goddess Astarte, who later on became known as the goddess Diana in Italy. A common misconception is that Astarte is in reference to the goddess Venus. However, this, to my knowledge as a high priest of the old religion and my many years involved with the occult mystery schools, is incorrect, as it only refers to the star Venus, as the goddess herself was originally associated with before being associated with the moon. This is where the confusion derives. Much of the Etruscan culture was either absorbed into the latter Roman culture, or migrated to Japan and other locations around the world, where they established great structures of stone and magnificence, which many have been demolished by the current elite establishment who don't want people to know the truth. Many of the foundation stones, called a cyclopean or polygonal cut stones, which are seen all throughout Italy and the rest of the world, can be seen abundantly more so in Japan, which were the foundations of the wooden castle structures. The Japanese, like the Etruscans, built many of their structures out of wood, and the Japanese, the modern-day descendants of the Rassena people, have continued this tradition. Japan is the land of the rising sun, the promised land of Gion, derived from the word Zion, hence Gion Matsuri every year. On some of the floats of the festival of Gion Matsuri, we can still see images of the lost tribes' migration through the Middle East into Japan.
Diktator hoc primo, condita Roma locos, condita Roma locos, hic locus vesta est, qui servat pallada.
Legendary winged Tengu, or long-nosed goblins of Japan, represent the spirit world, as is also evident by the cap worn on the Tengu's head, and the Tengu handing out the Torah no Moki scroll, which refers to the Torah of the Hebrews. These Tengu can also be witnessed not only in Etruscan and Japanese art, but also in Sumerian art, called Anunnaki, handing out the authority to specific people to establish civilizations. It is known today that Ashkenazi Jews contain predominantly Italian DNA from Calabria, Magna Graecia, in southern Italy, which as aforesaid, was Jerusalem. There is no such thing as Jerusalem in the Middle East, and no Tower of Babel or anything of resemblance can be seen in the Middle East today. Only in Pisa do we get such a structure, which used to be much taller than it is today. The black race are natural inhabitants of Earth, and many still live in an unsophisticated and primitive way, for it was us, the Aryan race, who originated from the red planet, Mars, and fell to Earth, bringing with us the height of technology and civilization. The natives tribes of Earth worshipped us as gods. The story of the fallen angels in the Book of Enoch is a retelling of the Sumerian story of the Igigi, Martians, who came to Earth and taught people all manner of good things. From fire and metallurgy came technology and architecture, and they also taught clothing, fashion, jewelry, makeup, and magic, etc. It is evident that the black race is natural to the Earth's environment, as if they were made for it, hence why many black tribes still live with minimal clothing and a primitive civilization to this day, while us whites and yellows tend to live indoors, and fully clothed and sophisticated, hence the term Imperial race, which was given to the Turanian peoples whose legacy became Zipang, or Japan, where the Western Emperor, Jinmu Tenno, set up Gion. It is said in Shinto lore that the Izumo god stood aside and declared that the Ninigi line, that of Jinmu, would forever be the inheritors and royalty of Japan. It is evident in some of the artwork of the Emperor Jinmu Tenno that he holds on his bow the Etruscan so-called Roman eagle, which is code for the fact that the Ninigi line are themselves the Etruscans who migrated to Japan. It is also evident in the artwork that Jinmu Tenno is wearing a toga, not Japanese traditional attire. It is right there in front of everyone's eyes, yet they, due to their lack of knowledge, cannot see what is right in front of everyone's face for the whole world to see. Most people won't accept this fact because they are too prideful of what they think they are in the present day, how they now define their race, and also there is racism and cognitive dissonance that blinds them to these facts, especially in terms of religion, especially Islam, Christianity, and Judaism.